Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing very well. Here we are beginning another exciting monthly event on P3 World News. We hope you all enjoy. Thank you for joining us today. Today we have a special program. We're going to have a few friends that happen to be all over the world these days, doing amazing and very meaningful projects. We're going to get together online here today and get to talk to them and see what they've been doing, what they are about to do. Today, for special circumstances, we had to do the program online, but we hope soon we keep being able to get together live in person. Today, we're gonna have a very special talk with Tim Lowenhaupt. We're gonna have also talk with the Mexican organizers. We're gonna have online studio, we're gonna have Adam Andrade sharing about his latest wonders in his book. Of course, no other than Geshe Michael in person sharing his love and wisdom with us. Lindsay and Rosa sharing things about the Good Night Book Club. Also, we're gonna have some videos from friends in Europe creating amazing projects, and some overseas projects. JB and Connie reporting from Malaysia in a few more minutes. We're gonna also have a special section on news, which I'm gonna start introducing to you, but again, thank you all for joining. Okay, here we go. Let me just check first if I would like to introduce also Chloe, if she's around. She's gonna be helping us with some interviews, and she is one of the co-producers of these events. Hello, Chloe, good to see you.
Hey, Juan. Hi, everyone. Hi,
Thank you so
Cashela.
much for your help producing this event.
Yes.
Is Rob around? I would also like to introduce him real quick. If he is and you could spot him, that'll be great. Maybe he'll be joining a little later. Okay, so let's start with some news. It's important for me to communicate these main events that are happening in the next months before the end of this year. So first thing to mention is gonna be, yes, to let everyone know that on weekly basis, we have this wonderful project of the translation of the ancient classics of wisdom. We get together online and live every Saturday, every Monday. Saturday, it's morning times in Sedona area in Rimrock. Mondays is evenings. For Asia, is Tuesday mornings, and Saturdays late at night. But it's a wonderful time for you to join, create community, learn some wisdom, and also, of course, develop our skills in the ancient Asian wisdom, which these books happen to be written in. So just letting you know, it's a wonderful effort. It's a very unique opportunity, and we do it every week. You can join following the QR code. That happens every week. And then next event we want to talk about is Diamond Mountain event. Is next picture. It's happening in October 11th to the 20th. If you haven't been there, I really recommend you trying at least one time in your life. It's very wonderful. Of course, if you can come more, perfect. So again, follow the QR code for that. Geshe Michael is going to be teaching some Nagarjuna text, Nagarjuna wisdom, emptiness teachings, and he's also be teaching about some improving our health techniques and practices. Then in November, we're gonna get together at the Sedona College, and we're gonna have a session on the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, final chapter, chapter 4. It has been a great sequence of classes over the last 3 years. Wonderful. And this is the final chapter on this wonderful book. I hear later there's a possibility we're gonna start studying the Bhagavad Gita. We'll see what happens. Just spoiler alert. And then finally, in December, we're gonna be going to Japan again. Wonderful, wonderful place. If you have a chance, I really, really recommend you to be there. This time, Team Lowenhong is producing a wonderful event. We're gonna be talking with him about it very, very soon. Geshe Michael is gonna be teaching classes there, and it's just a wonderful place. So if you're interested, also you can follow the QR code there. And speaking of that, let's go with Tim Lowenhub and see what he's up to.
Hi, Juan. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing swell today. Thank you.
Thank you for joining. Are you at the college? What are you?
Yes, I'm here at the college today. Wasn't able to make it down to, Rimrock Central. So I'm just hanging out here today.
That's okay. Wonderful. Okay, team. One of the reasons I wanted you to come today is because into my eyes, you've been doing a lot lately. Probably you've been doing a lot since before I noticed. But I think now it's so evident, not only for me, but for many, many people all over the world, that you are on fire, man. And it's very, very inspiring. You are not only a very good teacher, a very good practitioner and student, into my opinion, but also a very great producer. I got to hear a few weeks ago, you were doing a very cool tour in July. I was surprised. I met you in Japan, you remember? And then you start telling me about all these other places that you were going just before Mexico. And I thought how wonderful it is. Can you tell us a little bit about that? And also what are your main, focus projects that you're focusing the most these days?
Okay, well, those are two big questions. So the first one is, what's happening starting next week, it all kind of happened by accident. It was, I've been talking a lot with our friends in Taiwan, and they're very, very interested in learning more. And we've had some discussions, and I said, all right, I guess I'll come. And then the Romanians made a really beautiful video back in, if you remember, around Christmas time, asking if they could get some more classes. And I was like, all right, I guess so. And so I kind of just pieced it all together. And then some people in Barcelona were like, well, Tim, you're kind of close. Why don't we do something? And I said, I was hoping to go to the beach, but okay. Right. And it all just kind of came together, and it made me realize how much people really appreciate the in-person experience. Right. There's a big difference with, we're all staring at each other on Zoom, and I'm sitting in this room by myself. I don't even know where you are, Juan. It's kind of, you just have a background, right?
I'm just in the space, man.
You can be everywhere.
I'm in Flagstaff.
Right. So, I realized how many people really crave that community. And so I said, all right, I'll go ahead and do this, and I'll do it right before we go to Mexico. And then I didn't think about having 3 jet lags in 3 weeks. Right. So, I'll be tired when I get to Mexico, but I think it's important that we try to bring everyone together and at least try to meet each other once a year in person. And so that's how that all kind of came together.
Yeah. So first, if I understand correctly, your first destination is gonna be Taiwan, Taipei?
Correct.
Yeah. And I had the chance to, well, what you're saying is very, I think, accurate, because this time that we were in Japan, I got to see how for people is so special when we do events live. You get the chance to interact in different levels. You also get to connect with the teachers, but also with the students. And that makes like a very beautiful sense of community and friendship and support. They were so excited to have the chance to get together. And then I got the chance to meet one of the organizers of this event, Angel, and one of the translators, Janet. And they are producing this wonderful event. They told me about it. They were very, very excited about having you there. It seems that you're getting very popular all over the world. People get crazy to have you, to host you. Good seats.
Well, I really think it's the, I don't want to take credit for it. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but I think it's more about, it's really about offering the teachings. And so much my teachers have said, you have to continue to teach, you have to offer, you have to continue to pass this information on. And I think that's just, it just kind of, with your practice, then it just kind of starts happening on its own. And that's what I want to encourage everybody, including you, Dr. Hassel, that, everyone has such wisdom already within them, as they should be offering that to other people. And I think when the more that you offer it, it's not about a popularity contest, right? It's about just genuinely wanting, like, I mean, it sounds wonderful to go travel around the world for 2.5 weeks, but it's like, it's very difficult, like, on your body to do that and be in a plane for that long and do all the jet lag. But it's worth it when you see people improving their lives. And so that's what I would encourage everyone, is go out and teach, go find other people who need the wisdom that's in all of these books, whether it's in our business programs, or it's in the mixed nuts, or it's in YSI. It's all there. It's just slightly different clothing.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing those words. Okay, so then you're gonna go to Taiwan, and then you're flying to first Spain and then Romania. Is that gonna be like that?
Barcelona first and then Romania, correct.
Wonderful. I have heard wonderful things about Barcelona. I haven't had the chance to go there yet, but maybe one day.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful city. I was there once, 10 years ago. So I'm looking forward to reconnecting with the history of that place. I feel very connected to it.
Yeah, it's funny that many of our friends have been there too. Like, for example, Pachi Coquet, that we're going to be talking to him a little later. He lived there and he has wonderful, you wouldn't imagine, wonderful stories and adventures there.
It's a place of adventure, definitely.
Yeah. It sounds great. And look how happy you are in the picture to be there. That's amazing. Okay, and then from there you go to Romania. And in both cases, you're going to be doing a 2-day event, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and do you have any idea of what's going to be the main focus on or topic of it?
Well, in Romania, they're interested in learning about how to navigate, how to handle the changes that happen in our life, whether they're big or small. And so we're going to do a deep dive into how do we face, we all want things to stay the same, especially when they're good. And how do we face those challenges when it's uncomfortable? When it's not what you wanted, when it's not exactly how you wanted it to take shape. And then how to navigate your emotional world, and also how you interact with other people. Like, how do you take care of other people when they're navigating difficult change? Or if you're navigating difficult change at the same time, how do you facilitate harmony versus, conflict in that? So I'm really excited about that class. And then in Barcelona, we're going to be talking about, applying the ancient wisdom in our day, specifically in a business context. So it's not, not in a DCI kind of way, but more in a, how can you take these ideas that you learn at, on steps of the path, for example, and then go to work, and how do you live it? Like, how do you live those ideas of the steps in the path? And then when your boss is yelling at you, or you're trying to develop creativity, for example, like you're trying to have innovation in the office, or there's conflict between coworkers, how to navigate all those based on the steps in the path courses.
Are you going to be recording these classes?
I hope so.
And maybe sharing them later. because that really sounds wonderful. And I think that is something that, at least in my current place in life, sounds like I could benefit from hearing about those things too.
I don't know, Juan, maybe if your seats change, perhaps, you might get a flight to Barcelona. I don't know.
Maybe, who knows? They say, for those who understand seeds, anything is possible, no? Something like that.
Possible, yes.
Or emptiness, I don't remember. That's wonderful, team. And then you have other events, not only this July tour, which happens to be very exciting to me, but then you're planning a wonderful event in Japan again, December. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, but really quickly, we only have 1 minute left.
Yeah, 1.5.
We have a coming up in December is going to be a beautiful event. We're calling it the Spark of Joy, Steps on the Path. And it's going to be a culmination, a conclusion of 14 years of steps on the path together. So we're going to be celebrating in all different ways how we can bring more joy into our life. How can we live it? And then once we're done, having learned all the steps, how can we use that effort, that joyful effort, to then bring about the successes that we desire in this life, both in temporary ways and more long-term ways.
That's beautiful, beautiful. And then Japan is, to me, it's really such an amazing place, full of adventures and beauty, and sometimes challenges, but good ones. Yeah. So I will encourage people, if you can go, come. It's really, really worth it.
It's a beautiful 7-day program. The teachings will be deep. They will be inspiring. And we're in a beautiful, beautiful hotel that has restaurants and coffee shops right in it. And I think it's, I can't think of anything better to do with your time in December. So you should come.
Thank you very much, team. Thank you very much. Thank you for showing up. And if you have the availability, if you stay tuned, you can help me with some more interviews a little later.
I will stick around, so just let me know.
Perfect. I would like to take the chance to give a special welcome to Geshe-la, that is here with us, just to say hi. Hello, Geshe-la. Also, JB-la, Connie-la, they are logging from Malaysia, just to say hi. Everyone, thank you for joining. Lindsay, Rosa, thank you, everyone. Next interview we're gonna have is in a moment we will gonna go with you as well. How are you doing?
JB, you guys look like you got a sunburn.
Just it's magic light.
Oh, okay.
We don't leave the hotel room much.
Where are you guys now?
We're in Malaysia, Geshe Michael. It's an island. We took, after the Mongolia tour, we just said, let's take 4 days and go to this beach that we know. And so
you do have a sunburn.
No, I don't. We just go to breakfast and come back and enjoy it's in a rainforest. It's beautiful here, but we don't go out much. We just hang out on this little deck we have. It's very beautiful.
How did it go in Mongolia?
Oh, it went really well. The tours were, we had 2 groups. We had a Japanese tour from Sophie's group, who are donors of Asian Legacy Library, and they just had an amazing time. We went to see the collections, and then we gave them camel rides in the Gobi Desert. Yeah, that's what I said. We watched from the bus. But they had a good time.
And horse riding.
And horseback riding and yurt hoteling. So they had a really good time. Something to see when you see the stacks of ancient wisdom, their hearts are totally moved, and they understand in a different level how important it is. So we had a really beautiful trip. And then Taiwan came with Max and K1 and Gibson, and 26 donors who wanted to experience the collections that they're fundraising for. So I felt it was really successful on all levels. And but it
Yeah,
was also
you got 300,000 books there. How many are done? Do you know how many? Can you
so
guess?
we got the estimate. The National Library of Mongolia has 44,000 volumes, and we're at 12,500 volumes at this point.
Mm.
And so the beauty of what transpired this year is the government of Mongolia built a state-of-the-art new library, and everything moved over from the National Library site that we're in, the old library, and so we have room to expand. And that's great. So we'll double up on our scanning, and we'll hire 5 more catalogers, and we'll get this thing going so it doesn't take 22 years more.
Yeah, you've been going for 22 years. That's cool.
But it's great to be on the show and see you, Geshe Michael. We've been away now a month today. It's
Yeah, it's all nice here. We got the Peachtree Cafe. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have a segment with you again very soon.
Okay.
Just before that, we were having a conversation with Paulina and Pachi. They're gonna talk about the upcoming Mexico retreat. And then a little later, we're gonna have JB and Conila talking about the different countries they're being through and where are they heading next.
Hi everyone. Hi Gisela. Hi Juan.
Hi all, how are you?
And JB.
Yeah, for this section, Chloe is gonna help me to talk to you guys. We are very happy to have you here and also very happy that you're about to go to Mexico to produce this event. I know you for many, many years and I've seen your production career is so wonderful, how now this big event is happening. So could you tell us a little bit of your experience on how's it been producing this event? What are like how's the people receiving this new location? What's your experience experimenting with this?
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Juan. You know, this year we decide to celebrate our yearly event with Geshe-la, which historically took place in Guadalajara, now in Mexico City. And there are many reasons for this, but the main one is our mission of expanding these teachings in Latin America. And also because we have a group of colleagues and friends there who have been practicing all this ancient wisdom for many years, and they were willing to help us produce. So it was the perfect timing to do it, which I want to take this opportunity to thank all the people behind this great production. We are a great and big team, and they are very excited to bring these teachings to their city also. And yes, I mean, whether you decide come in person or choose to watch it from home, I think it's gonna be a great event from all of you.
Yeah, my experience so far, Juan, has been filled with great joy. Everyone knows that organizing an event can be stressful. However, this time I was pleasantly surprised to find a dedicated team of friends working hard to make this happen.
Yes.
Wow, that's beautiful. Pachi, I know you can make anything happen. So would you like to tell us more about what are the content of this program? And either for the online people and the in-person students.
Sure. You know, we always struggle in deciding what are those decisions that would lead us to happiness and joy in our lives. But sometimes those decisions lead us to suffer or suffering. So that's because we need to know how reality works so we can decide with wisdom what actually is going to help us and not to cause us more suffering. So Geshe Michael will be offering a very special teaching on the inner workings of our mind And this is dialogue between the good and the evil that happens in our minds.
Yeah, and this teaching, Chloe, is called An Angel Debates a Devil. It's a very deep test of logic. It's a poem, which might sound a little bit hard at the very beginning, and yet it's extremely funny. It's a debate between an angel and the devil, meaning the good and the bad in our minds, and they both want to win. So it's epic. It's an epic discussion that exposes the tricky ways that our mind misleads us into believing we are thinking and acting in a way that actually helps us when it's actually the opposite.
Yeah. So many of us already know if we don't learn how to train our minds to think with a correct view, like the angel, then the devil, which is ignorance of how reality works, will then the devil no okay so will gain residence in our minds. So then all our efforts to achieve the things we want, such as financial success, beautiful relationship, then sometimes will work and sometimes won't work. So therefore, I think this is going to be a beautiful and powerful teaching for all of us to learn.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, how can people go if they want to go?
Register on the QR code. I mean, this is the option online if you can't come, but if you can come in person, I think it's gonna be awesome because over the years, many of Geshe-la's students have been studying and applying this ancient wisdom, and so we invite these students that now have become teachers around the world, and as a result of this, they are coming and they will help us to understand how apply this in our daily life. So it's gonna be like a big party of all our friends around the world, and we hope to see you there. I don't know, Pachi, you want to share what they can expect if they come in person?
Yes. Joining us directly from Tucson, Arizona, Dr. Ward Smith, a Tibetan translator, Hector Marcelis, who is the president of a Center for Asian Wisdom in New York, and in a very famous learning studio, of course. And then Tim Lowenhaupt, you've been hearing from him a moment ago. So yeah, this is the kind of teachers, the kind of friends that will be coming to help us.
Yeah, and also yoga, meditation, vegetarian food. And Mexico City is a very special. My dad is here visiting us in Argentina. He was telling me today that Mexico City is a very charming city. And I think that's the perfect word to describe it. It's very charming, it's so unique, a very fascinating destination in our country. So if you can come, we will be very happy to have you here.
Yeah, the hotel is located on the city's most important avenue. It's called Barceló. It's a very privileged location. Yeah. So if you, by any chance, if you can come, we'll be happy to have you here. And if not, please join us online. So the dates are July 26, 27, and 28.
Yay.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Soon I also gonna be traveling to Mexico. At least that's my plan. Who knows what can happen? Hopefully see you there.
Yes, please come.
Looking forward.
Yay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So all these wonderful teachings in a way are possible because, the wonderful work that Geshe Michael and John Brady are being doing by collecting ancient wisdom text and then translating them into English and other modern languages. So then, speaking about this project of translating them, there has been a very cool effort to keep getting our minds ready to absorb and retain this wisdom. One of the latest projects is about stopping using technology at night. So giving the chance to our minds to focus and immerse ourselves in this wonderful, wonderful content. For this project, we have two special friends today, Rosa and Lindsay, who are gonna talk with us about one of their latest, how to say, new tool or idea that will help us to actually put this into practice. Hello, Rosa. Hello, Lindsay.
Hi,
How
Juan.
are you?
Good.
Hello,
How are
Juan.
you?
Good, thank you. I was sick a little bit, but now I think I'm great.
Good.
Tomorrow I shall be perfect. Yeah, it's good to have you here. So first of all, I would like for you, if you could introduce to the general audience a little bit of what is this project, the Good Night Book Club, and then talk a little bit about your idea on the GMR Luxury Valise.
Yeah, thank you, Juan. So yeah, just like what you're saying, what the Goodnight Book Club is based around is really this practice of, ending your day and starting your day right. So before you go to bed, putting away all your electronics, and reading a few pages of ancient wisdom before bed. And then when you wake up, first thing, meditating, and maybe even meditating about the book that you had read the night before. And so what the Goodnight Book Club does is it's a monthly subscription, and we will send books and in the mail for you to read at night. And then we've also partnered with GMR Luxury to send this special bag, which Rose is going to talk more about, and a little lock for you to put your electronics away at night and really just kind of focus on reading some ancient wisdom and all of that. So can we show the first image?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So here's where to go if you're interested in more information. And all the proceeds from this do go to Diamond Cutter Classics, the translation project that gives us, these amazing, amazing books. So yeah. And then actually, could we go to the next slide as well? Oh, no, the Sanskrit one. Cool. Yeah. And then for people who do subscribe to the book club, we're also offering some kind of additional perks. And one of them is the Sanskrit classes that recently started and are going on every Thursday. And so this is available to anybody who is a subscriber to the Goodnight Book Club to come and to learn Sanskrit, which is one of the languages that these books were originally written in, which is really, really cool. So we do invite subscribers to join the Sanskrit classes as well. Cool, and then I'll pass it over to Rosa.
Hi, Juan. Hi, everyone. Yeah, just as Lindsay said, we partner with Diamond Cutter Classics and designed this awesome bag with actually Kitchen Michael's inspiration of trying to help us, our new addiction of watching programs or being attached to our phones for way too long. I am one of those people, and it had helped me quite a bit. So the bag is especially designed for this purpose, but I gotta say that I also use it all the time. So it's like my computer portfolio. When we were designing the bag, we thought, well, maybe people want to carry it with them all the time. So we included a beautiful tote bag that actually comes with it. And I actually put together a little video to show you how it works.
Let's watch it.
Do we have some sound?
Maybe, yeah. Let's one more time. Let's rewatch it now with sound.
The music is kind of fun, so it would be nice to
Yeah,
have
no,
it.
it's very good. Now that I'm editing more videos, I'm realizing how a lot of it has to do with the music and the background, how you do the cuts and the editions. It's wonderful to learn about these things.
Yeah, it shows you a little bit of how it works, all of the things that you can put in, actually how the locker works, because some people are a little puzzled by it. So it's just a fun way of showing everyone how it works and you know, try to like get them, you know, as excited as we are.
Okay, now we'll watch it with sound. We hope.
Oh, it looks like we're having technical issues.
But I think I can play it. If it's not working from the tech table, I can play it from my side. Let me try. One moment. Here. Here is the video. One sec. Yes, I have it. I'm gonna share my screen. Share. Advance. Okay, share sound. Ready? Hey, wait. I cannot choose that. Maybe it has to do with it. Marina or Francisco or Gina is not letting me click on share sound. You know why? No one knows why. Okay, okay. So no.
Okay.
Okay, fine. We will show it to you on Saturday or Monday again with sound.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you, Juan, for everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much as well. Thank you for your efforts. And thank you so much also for doing this project that is helping the overall project on translating and making us available to this wonderful wisdom. Thank you,
So
Rosa.
there
Thank
are
you,
two
Lindsay.
ways that you can share this, that you can actually access or get the bag. One is obviously by joining the club, but if you would like to get an additional one for your friends, you can always get it using the QR code from GMR Luxury, if you don't mind sharing that for a bit. And yeah, and that will actually, you know, get you to how to purchase that directly without joining.
Okay, so there you go. I myself got my kit. I have it here. It's wonderful with the lock and everything, the valise. And also remember, it's gonna also give you the books. Depend what package did you get, how many books you will get as well. But it's really wonderful. Geshe-la has his own. Do you want to add anything about it, Geshe-la?
It's that you know, Rosa designed the bag and the valise, and the valise holds your computer and your phone, and we designed it to keep your electronics away from you at night. And but what happened with me was when I was in Japan with Juan. Remember, Juan, we went almost every day to a French coffee shop for pastries, and
yeah.
And it was too much to carry all of my backpack, you know, with me. And then I found out that this bag it really, really is amazing. And it really, really is nice. And you just put it over your shoulder and you can walk around Kyoto and drop in at, you know, like we went to see Takashimaya. I was buying stuff for my wife's birthday, and it's convenient. You can carry it around in the store and you don't have to think about it. And then when you see a coffee shop, you stop and you can do some work. And I just love it. And I think it's a good invention by Rosa. Thank you, guys. And thank you, Lindsay, for doing this. This is a big help to the translators. Back to you, Hasso.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, Lindsay. My apologies for the technical situation. I'm going to figure it out. Maybe we can actually show it a little later if we can find out, hopefully. For now, we want to have a conversation with Adam. Now that we are talking about the Goodnight Book Club and this wonderful project about translating the ancient wisdom into English. Geshe-la, you've been working with Adam in this book about clear thinking and correct perception. And here's Adam with us to talk about it and his new plan and ideas on how to share this wonderful content with all your friends. Adam, how are you?
Good, man. Good afternoon, Juan. Yeah.
Good afternoon. It's good to see you. We haven't seen each other live maybe like in 5 years.
It's been a while, man, and we used to hang out a lot, you and I.
Yeah. Yeah. He used to take me to hike unbelievable mountains, many adventures there. Yeah, so how are you doing? Here's Chloe with us also. She's helping us with the interviews. Have you met in person?
Yes, I met Adam and your family during Halloween.
That's right. I was a Jedi. I was in disguise.
So could you tell us, Adam, a little bit of your own experience now that you're working with this book of clear thinking? In my opinion, since I met you, I always thought you have like a very, how to say, to me, the way to say is like a very powerful mind and also like very well structured. So it's interesting to me that Geshe-la decided to work with you in this kind of topic. Could you tell us your experience about the before and after going so deep in this book?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it took us 6 years to finish the first volume. There's going to be 4 in total. So I had 6 years to kind of sit with some of the things that we were studying. And I still don't think I've grasped a lot of it. But in general, you know, the collected topics are a very useful tool. Like I think, you know, we all know that meditation is a key aspect of our practice, right? But you know, sometimes we don't talk about the different types of meditation. And there is a type of meditation called Qigong, right? Which means to analyze, right? It's like an analysis meditation. And I think my book has really influenced my understanding of how you make changes in your heart by using your mind, right? So you're supposed to meditate, like you know, if you've studied the Steps on the Path series with Geshe Michael, we all know that there's a series of steps that you're being led through, and you have to kind of realize those things in your mind as you progress. And there's a very beautiful essay at the end of the second volume of Liberation in Your Hands that really opened my eyes to maybe why the collected topics are so important to my practice, my personal practice. The first couple of pages of that essay, they describe, Pabonka Rinpoche describes how to use analytical reasoning to change your heart. And so oftentimes I think about, I think logic is thought about as being separate from the heart, right? Like you don't really think about with the logic texts being associated with like Master Shanti Deva's teachings, right? They seem like two different realms almost. But I think one is analytical reasoning from a personal standpoint has changed my life because it's really shown me that you have to use the collected topics and the things that we translated in my first volume, in the first volume of the book, to get your mind ready to meditate on deeper aspects of reality. So there's a very famous syllogism that's presented in which you talk about smoke behind a mountain pass. I spend a lot of time on mountain passes. whenever I find free time. So it often comes up that I'm thinking about it. And if there's smoke behind a mountain pass, you can infer that there's fire, right? Even though you can't see the fire with your eyes. And I think that's a very good example of how you can use logic and reasoning to perceive things that you can't see with your eyes, like the proof of karma and its results, or past and future lives, the possibility of enlightenment. These are all things you have to prove to yourself, right? Concepts like death and impermanence. If you study these texts well enough, they kind of get your mind ready and agile, and they get you used to using scripture and logic to kind of come at different ideas from 100 different ways. And I think eventually, from what I've been told, that can generate understandings in your heart that don't change, and they will change you as a person and as a being. So logic and reasoning has kind of helped me see that there's a clear path to changing myself spiritually. And I think oftentimes they're not thought of that way, right?
Wow, that's super cool. I'm curious, like Juan said, how did Geshe-la put Adam to this subject? Would you like to share a little bit on this, Geshe-la, like why this clear thinking, this reasoning, the art of reasoning is a text that we should learn, and also why would Adam be the best person to translate this book?
I think it's a good question. So we have 12 translators, and we have 12 different great topics over the last 2,500 years. I guess every 200 years, a different song becomes popular and a different topic becomes popular. And so it was a very interesting exercise for me to decide which translator I should connect to which book, and which topic. And Adam actually had participated in a traditional setting. He had learned debating. He had done some debating in the foreign language. He was good at it, and he had a special interest in this topic. This is the first topic in the Geshe course, and the first topic we study is how to think clearly. And they don't let you start debating until you understand the basic topics of clear thinking. And then I thought that Adam had some good experiences in debating, both overseas and here in the United States. And so I thought it would be great for him. I thought he had we say calm means he had some kind of deep seed for it in his heart. And it's my pleasure to hook up people with their deep seeds. And I thought, and he's really gone deep into it now. He's translated the first part of this book. This book came out, it's called The Door to Emptiness. And that's the first part of his first book. And that took, 6 years. And it's very deep and very beautiful. It's a very, very, very great author that I studied when I was a debater. And then he's moved on to an even deeper book, which those of you who come to the Shensong Tower classes, those are quite difficult. So he's also got the patience and the stubbornness to translate a very difficult book. Some other people I think would quit already, but he's been doing it for 7 or 8 years now. So that's a nice question, Chloe. That's how I chose him. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. This is so interesting. So I, on behalf of lots of people, would love to ask you, Adam, based on the content of your books, would you like to share something in the future? Suppose that maybe there were a class, if you want to teach a course, what would you like to teach us about?
It's very interesting. I have a course that I've been kind of, I've had in my head, I've had some ideas about how to share the things that Geshe Michael shared with me. For many years, I've been thinking about it, and I haven't felt quite ready enough. And just something over the past month or two has really kind of stirred in my heart. And so I'm actively trying to set down a week-to-week class where I can share what it is that Geshe Michael has shared with me. And I think from my perspective, what the kind of way that I thought about, and who knows, it could change, but is presenting kind of the structure and the mechanics of debate and how one goes about it, how to have like an organic debate, how to choose a debate partner, how to flow through an argument, and the different types of, for example, like correct reasons, all these things. And so we'll touch on a lot of detail, and we'll go really, really deep as I can take you, I'll take you. And if I need clarification on anything, hopefully Geshe Michael will be there so that I can rely on him. So I think what I'd like to do is I'd like to introduce a group of people to the tradition of debate in our lineage. And I'd also like to share, after we spend some time getting familiar with how to debate about different things, then we'll start learning the collected topics, and we'll put what we learn about how to debate. We'll take some of the things that I translated in my first book, and we'll start looking at them. So basically what I want to do is I want to give everybody a microscope first, and then we'll start looking at the individual slides, the individual topics that come along in the Dura, in the collected topics. And one by one, we'll see how deep we can take each other, because I'm sure you guys are going to help me understand it much, much better than I already do.
Recently in Kyoto, we had the DSEU term, the MBA term. And we have a course that is required for the MBA, which is a new business model called learning organization. And a lot of that new business model is about communication among groups in a corporation or in a business organization. And so we started teaching the students, just briefly, we started to teach them some debate and how to use debate in a friendly way in a business meeting. And the students were really, really excited. And we had a lot of fun, but we ran out of time. And we didn't have enough time to really get into it deeply. So I look forward, Adam, if you can design a basic course about the system of how to have a fun debate with your friends, and how to use it in a productive way in a company or in your business to make more success in your business. I think the students were really anxious to do more, and I don't have time, and that would be really fun if you could develop something. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I definitely have something in mind. Yeah.
Back to you, Hasso.
Yeah, very well. So we will be, waiting for the news, Adam, and see what you come up with. Hopefully also at some point you can come and visit in Sedona area, and we'll see you in person. That'll be wonderful.
Yeah. Very much looking forward to connecting with you again, Juan, in person, man. Miss giving you a hug, and miss hanging out with you, Chloe. Yeah, everybody that's in Sedona and Rimrock, right? Really miss kind of being there.
We can give you a Peachtree Cafe membership card if you come.
Awesome. It's just what I need. Yeah.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you, Chloe, also. Thank you, Geshe, for this wonderful time together. I think it's part of this program is to really spend some time talking to each other, getting to know what's happening, how we can collaborate and support each other. So thank you so much. Geshe-la, we plan some minutes with you for you to share with us about basically whatever you want to share with the audience, what you've been doing lately, or what's your one of your main focuses for the next few months or years. So I'm excited to hear from you a little bit of what's in your mind these days.
Okay, I'm happy to talk. It's just that it's difficult to stop Geshe-la's mouth. How long, Hasso, should I talk?
Maybe this time we can do just like 5-6 minutes, and then we're gonna be back with you at the end of the program.
Okay, great. What I'm really love to talk about is a book that, I was working on a book before we started the Mixed Nuts, and just by myself. And then after we started the Mixed Nuts program, I didn't have much time to continue with this book. And this book is called Gombarabsel. It means illumination of the true path, or something like that. Illumination of the real thinking of these great masters in the past. And so I'm almost 900 pages into it. I've been translating. I translate because I'm in the Goodnight Book Club. My production has doubled because I can get up early. I feel fresh. I had a good night's sleep. I put my computer away, and I put my phone away in the Rosa's bag, and so I've been able to do a lot more progress. And I finished almost 900 pages now. And I was thinking, Juan, if I had to talk for a few minutes, there's 2 sections in the book which are about dreams, and the book is all about emptiness. The book is the greatest book on emptiness I think ever written, and it's based on the book called Wisdom by Nagarjuna 2,000 years ago. And then it's a direct commentary to Entering the Middle Way, which was written about 1,400 years ago, still in the Tang Chao period, in the Tang Dynasty period, by a great master called Chandakirti. And so this author is talking about, Tsongkhapa is talking about that. And he's got 2 sections on dreams, and one of them is a 5-minute talk, and one of them is a 10-minute talk. That's kind of a coincidence, okay, Hustle? So the first one, Tsongkhapa is quoting a ancient sutra. This is 2,500 years ago. And Gautama is talking to a king. And he says, "O king, if a person in the dream, like you can think if you're making out with somebody in a dream, okay, like a beautiful lady or a handsome man like Adam, and you are, kissing them in a dream, and you're having a really good time, and then the garbage truck comes outside your house, and it wakes you up. And then after you wake up, for maybe 5-10 minutes, you still remember the dream. And you still feel excited by the dream, And Gautama asked the king, if a person was excited in the dream, and then they woke up, and they still feel excited and they still feel attached to this man or this woman, would they be a smart person or a dumb person? And the king says, I think they'd be dumb, And Gautama says, well, why? And he says, well, there's not really any man or woman there at all, especially after you wake up. Especially after you wake up, there's no man there anymore. There's no lady there anymore. So after you wake up, there's no reason to stay excited after that. Even during the dream, it's a little bit strange to be so excited, you know. And then, of course, the king says, well, why did you tell this story? You know, what's the example that you're giving? And you can guess, you know, you can guess that Gautama is talking about illusion, you know, like how we get attached to something which is like an illusion, which is just a dream. And then even after we wake up, we still feel like we need to protect the illusion, or we need to fight for the illusion. We, you know, it's just an illusion, but we will fight people, or we will get scared that we're going to lose it. And I think it's very natural that we think that Gautama is talking about objects in the world, you know, like I'm having a very delicious chocolate drink made for me by Anjali, healthy chocolate drink, okay? And it's good because Grandpa likes chocolate, but he doesn't like healthy, but this one is both. And so you think that Gautama is talking about things like they are a dream. And then Gautama says, no, that's not what I'm talking about. He says, I'm talking about seeds, you know, I'm talking about seeds. When you make seeds, it's like you're in a dream, you know, and then when you wake up is when the seed opens. And he said, it's the same thing as you go into your death, as you go into the hour of your death. What came before is like a dream. And then what comes after is like waking up from the dream. And then after you wake up, which means after you die, then all those things that you were attached to, all those things that you were trying to protect in the dream, they don't mean anything anymore, you know. And the only thing that's left after you wake up is the memory of those things that weren't real in the first place. And it's a very powerful, and I'm still thinking about it. I'm still chewing on it, you know. And then he says, we're gonna talk about how the lady or the man in the dream is like your seeds in your mind. And then when you wake up from the dream or after you die, it's like when your seeds come out of your mind and create things. And it's very interesting. And I'm just gonna stop there, Hasso, because I think it's something to think about. So somehow the man or the woman in the dream is similar to collecting seeds, and somehow waking up from the dream is similar to what happens after we die. And then those images from the dream that we think about after we wake up and we're still in our bed, we're still thinking about the man or the woman in the dream, those are similar to how our life will be later. And I don't know, I think there's a lot more to talk about, but I'm gonna just plant that seed, and then I'm gonna go back to the boss of Peachtree World News. Okay, Hasso.
Thank you so much, Geshe-la. Wonderful, wonderful teachings. And it's so exciting to hear about your latest translations. It's gonna be very cool when we can get them and go in depth into them. So thank you so much.
Late November, it will be done if I don't get interrupted by people in the morning. And if I can stay in the Goodnight Book Club. Okay, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We'll think about it and go back hopefully a little later and hear more about this wonderful story. Now that you, Geshe-la, you was talking about how planting the seeds in a way is similar to the illusion of a very wonderful partner we have in a dream. So yeah, that's, I think, something very interesting to think about. I remember Adam was sharing time ago, he was having a website with the advances of this illumination of the true thought. Maybe at some point, Adam, we can talk about the idea of keep going with that project. Right now, we would like to go. Yeah, Geshe says if he gets quiet in the morning, I'll try to help. My apologies for so many messages. Okay, we would like to invite our next guest, who is, into my opinion, an expert on how to plant seeds for creating harmony in a group. This time with us, we have one of the longest time students of Geshe Michael with us, a very dear and wonderful teacher to me as well. We have with us Jigme, and we would like to have a little talk with you. Also, I would like to invite Chloe to help me with your wonderful questions. So how are you, Jigme? We hear you had a visit to Phoenix today. How did everything went?
It was okay. It was, it wasn't pleasant, but it was I had a medical procedure that never pleasant, but I survived, and I'll get the results in a few days.
Hope everything goes well.
Yeah, thanks.
So Jigme, one of the reasons I wanted you to come is because, into my eyes, you are one of the persons that is, to me at least, the most pleasant working with. Into my eyes, you're never getting into trouble. At least, like, of course, there may be things here and there, but I think you keep your happiness and your love very much there. Even when I have hear you, going through difficult situations, I think you do it always with a lot of joy. I don't know how to explain. So I was wanting to give ourselves the chance to hear from you, maybe some of your general views on how important it is to develop harmony in between our personal relationships, and what have been your approaches, like developing kindness, or what kind of seeds do you usually try to use to imbue people around you with this feeling of friendship and harmony?
Well, actually, I don't think I'm thinking about imbuing other people. I'm just thinking about how to. Well, here's the thing. Over many years, I've spent time in groups like this and other groups, and I've seen a lot of things, problems that start growing and how they grow and how they come out. So I have in my mind an idea of, like, if something is just starting, then I have like a vision of how the whole progression of this thing is going to go, and because I've seen it before. So that's one thing. If I see like somebody starting to it starts out with a little thing, like someone will start criticizing or that kind of thing, and then you see that these seeds grow really quickly, and so when I see that, usually I'll just try to say something, or there's different kinds of things happening. Like sometimes it'll be somebody starting to criticize others, or it'll be somebody being criticized or being ignored or being and I've been on both sides of that. So I know what it's like to be in a group and have everybody kind of feeling like you're useless. And so I'm very sympathetic with that, with people. And so I don't know, it's just kind of like I think about like how I can empathize with these people, and then like, oh, maybe I can help by just say a few things to people to raise their stature, or give them some encouragement or something like that. So I don't know if that even answers your question, but that's kind of what goes on in my mind.
Yeah, Jigme, you are wonderful. You always give everybody attention and the presence and the kindness. It's very, very grateful. It's very, very treasures to have you around. And also, you are the person, at least me, I always go to ask some random advice with or what to eat or something. You have good advice. So I guess since you've been around so long, that you see all the up and downs and differences from how people connect with others. How I guess in your personal experience, do you have any advice on how others can be like, how you bring people together and bring harmonies to the group?
I think it's sort of a really just a matter of prioritizing. One of the things I noticed was that, we're all trying to do the highest practice we can do. And so like, so I'm trying to do some really powerful practices, and I'm like, I'm not getting really good results. So that was what happened. Was I decided that there's a foundation, right? So you have to understand the pen. You have to not be too attached to things that are temporary. And but the main thing, at least for me, because those things for me are not quite so not quite so problematic, but the thing that I noticed in myself was that my tendency to be kind, or not criticizing other people. And so I thought, that's what I'm going to work on. So I think maybe it's a matter of looking into your own self and seeing what your own lacking is. And kindness is very important. And I think so maybe people don't really, like, if you are ambitious, for example, then often you forget to be kind, because you're thinking about how can I force, how can I create other people to be kind to me, for example, or to respect me, or to admire me, or to pay me a better salary. And you're not thinking about, where does that come from? Where that kind of thing comes from helping others to get the same thing. So that's the other thing, is to think about, in one way, it's being extremely sympathetic to other people's feelings or where they're coming from, but also trying to create the things for others that you want for yourself. So it's kind of a mixture of that. You were mentioning earlier that you think I have a very kind nature or something along those lines, but actually I'm very critical of people in my own mind. I just don't say anything. So that gives me something to work with,
But that's a great thing. At least you don't say anything. I can't even stop that. I do say things.
Be the bump on the lock.
I kind of, or if you notice it in your own mind, then you have something to work with. So that, if I guess, so that's the other thing, is to watch your own mind and see what the issues are that you're dealing with. Like, what is in my mind? And if there's just nothing but garbage, then work on garbage. So anyway.
So just to finish with this conversation, do you have any specific memory or experience that you would like to share with us when you may have been able to shift a little bit the situation that you are in by using this practice of kindness or using wisdom, to like a very sometimes anecdote that you may have, like, yes, I was going through this, I decided to do this, and the result was I don't know, maybe the person was fired. I don't know what happened, but
no, usually I don't want to name names or anything, and you probably know most of the people that I would talk about. But just mainly what I try to do sometimes, or maybe I just notice that people have talents, certain talents that other people don't notice, and to try to encourage them to, for on one side, encourage the person to acknowledge their own talents, but on the other side, try to get other people to notice that they have these talents, and then just try to make it happen, That's basically, does that make sense?
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you very much for sharing with us and for giving ourselves, giving us the time to be here, especially
Mm.
today. That was a complicated day because of your trips and the medical issues. But thank you so much. From my side, I can say I really appreciate having you around. I consider you a very good friend. And I have fun when I spend time with you. I think you are a very honest person and you don't hesitate to sometimes say things that others wouldn't be willing to say. Sometimes can be very, how you say, great feedback.
Well, I try not to say things that are gonna, upset people or hurt them. But yeah, I don't know. I seem to be kind of perilously honest sometimes.
Well, maybe that's why your name Jigme, the fearless one.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much for having come today. And we hope to keep inviting you more in the future.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you, Jigme.
see you soon, Jigme. And thank you, Chloe, as well. And now actually we have, again, a little report on how the Asia tour is going for our dear teachers, JB and Connie. If you are there, we would like to have a talk on what's happening. I had the great chance, JB, to see you in Japan. It was a wonderful event and to get to meet with some of the audience there, Sophie students. And then after that, I just hear you were traveling all over. You were going to Mongolia, then to Malaysia, then to Singapore. It's wonderful what you've been doing and what's next for you. Here we have also Team Lowenhub. And please, Geshe-la, if you want to participate and talk with them, super welcome to do so.
Oh, hi, Juan. Yeah, we're actually in Malaysia right now. After 3.5 weeks of travel, we wanted to take 4 days and try to do a retreat. And we chose a beautiful place in a rainforest in Malaysia on an island, and it's really just a special place to get caught up on reminding ourselves that practice is essential. So we're just in a beautiful place of quiet and staying low profile, doing our practice, getting ready for the next 3 weeks of touring. And it's great. Connie joined me this time through Mongolia, so that made it special. We had 2 weeks in Mongolia touring. I brought a group from Tokyo and Japan, and then another group from Taiwan, Taipei, and we had a great time. They had such great experiences. And Mongolia is one of those countries that honestly, it's kind of like, I call it a cowboy democracy. It's a wonderful country. It's a beautiful, they're nomadic. So a third of the population moves 3 times a year in their little yurts for herding purposes. They raise sheep and then they have cashmere as their production. So it's one of those places that still feels kind of maybe 300 years ago. I mean, wild horses like just roaming the countryside, and there are more sheep than humans, and but their culture is rich, and their life is full of family and just a quality of life connecting to the earth. So I really I have a seed for going there, and Asian Legacy Library has now 3 major projects going on. So there's lots to do there. They really have quite a cache of ancient wisdom manuscripts and wood blocks. We just saw some Sanskrit palm leaf collections recently. So it's still there to do a lot of work for Asian Legacy Library.
Actually, can I just say each nomadic family also very much treasures the ancient texts that they have, and they use them every day. As a matter of fact, before they move 4 times a year, I was told, they move those texts and the little home that they have for the texts first, which is really amazing. So what ALL did was provide a scanner that they, the groups could go to the nomadic homes and scan their texts in place. So we have their text to add to the library. So individual families' books are that they use every day are part of the ALL collection. It's very sweet.
Yeah.
Conila, we want to also wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was yesterday for us. I guess today for you guys is that.
Yeah, we got to see some pictures that you were having a party. Where was that? I think I don't know, because JB also, you just had your birthday like a week ago.
Yeah.
We had 1 week apart. Yeah.
Yeah. It was what was lovely there is in Mongolia, JB had the time to meet with the US ambassador and lots of other individuals to really move the ALL project along. A lot happened, I think, and that was JB's birthday party. Wearing, look at that hat. I love it.
We had a good day that day, and the Taiwanese group was with us, and we had a really beautiful day.
So JB's been giving back a lot to sponsors. Tomorrow we'll meet a sponsor in Singapore, and then we move over to Medan with Sugeng and Xintian, who are doing so much for ALL. It's really very beautiful. So we'll go to Medan, and JB will give a talk there. I have a day off.
Yeah, what's so beautiful about what Geshe-la has given all of us on this call, and is the way we train ourselves to teach in different forms. And tomorrow night we're meeting a sponsor, but then the following night I do a beautiful 2.5-hour presentation on gratitude. We had just done it with DCRG, and Sugan has set this remarkable opportunity up for myself and Connie. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's kind of me this time. And then we moved to Borobudur after that, and we do a Yoga Studies Institute program.
Raw Diamonds, Yoga Studies Institute, and ALL together. It's a beautiful fundraising program for ALL because, yogis, they need help. Yogis are about health, and usually they're young, they don't have a lot of money. So this program is a wonderful way to help yogis increase the wealth in their lives. Not this program, but do you have a picture of Borobudur, maybe, Juan, that you can show? So yeah, this program here with Jasmine and Joan Lynn from Raw Diamonds and the YSI core staff is going to be so much fun. And it's called the Jewel of Sharing, but it's about teaching yogis how to create wealth in their lives. It's something they need. Our next program will be about even creating health. But for this program, we have, I think, the range of people coming is between like 6 years and 84 years. It's amazing that they are that range of people are coming to this program. So it's very cool. People from all over Asia are coming, and excited to do the fundraising also for ALL. Okay. And then it's back to Singapore for another ALL fundraiser.
Yeah, It seems like we can consolidate these trips, so, we do it 3 times a year, and it saves on the body, and we're
Yeah.
learning how to break. So we had, I had a 3-week series of teachings in Mongolia touring, and then Connie and I have this little break, and then we'll do another one at the end of the tour before we go home to Sedona. So we go to Singapore, and Jenny Wong and Diamond Love Foundation, as well as Diamond Seed Foundation in Malaysia, are going to host a one-night event for Jenny has been remarkably her time and her effort to sustain some projects that we have in India. She's been doing this now for 9 years, and she's been loyal to Asian Legacy Library's sustainability of our South India projects. And we're going to do an event there, and then an all-day affair with a teaching and meditation, yoga. So it's exciting. I haven't been back in Singapore doing this, Geshe-la, for 6 years. So we're going to have a good time there. And then from there, where do we go next?
We go to Malaysia for a course 15 for Steps on the Path.
Oh, yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
And then a final event in Kuala Lumpur for a fundraiser event, I believe, right?
For Diamond Love, with Diamond Seed and Diamond Love Foundation. So it's jam-packed. And I think, we got to keep doing this when we can, and how we can continue to sustain the 300-year plan for Asian Legacy Library. So, yeah.
And I'd like to say that John's been doing this for 30 years, I think, or more, and 30 something years. And it's, to me, these books are the greatest collection of books in the world. It's the biggest collection of books in the world. And I'm very proud that you are doing, the reason you have to fundraise like a preta is that everything is free. All of the results of their work is free online. And I really, really like that. And I know it's difficult for you to give everything away for free online. And I really admire it. And to keep that for 30 years, to keep resisting charging people or making money out of it, I think it's a wonderful thing. And I always feel very proud that you are saving those books, but especially that they are free online. And Joel, your programmer Joel, was here this week, and it's a pleasure to be with him. And they make sure everything is free online, and all the books are available online. A lot of these books were buried in Mongolia in caves, and they were lost. And now they're online, and everybody in the world, doesn't matter where you live, you can enjoy them, you can use them. You kind of took them out of the caves in Mongolia and you spread them all over the world, and for free. And I really admired that, and I congratulate you guys. Yeah.
We just had a interesting director meeting at the National Library of Mongolia. Adam was there in 2018 with us when we set up together. And her name is Ishka Bayerlach, and she's a really wonderful lady. And her manager is Sina, who is she has her PhD in ancient wisdom. What we discovered was so interesting. The statistical analysis of how many people have downloaded from the National Library over the last 2 years is 122,000 people downloaded something from that collection. And it's just astounding, the interest from where those woodblock carvings come from, and the stamps of the origin of where they originated from. And some of them haven't been seen for decades, some of the original woodblock from that particular place. So it's really cool that we can get a little bit of the kudos on that side.
It's wonderful. Then Adam just has to finish translating all of it.
Yeah, that's right.
Adam,
It's all for you, Adam.
Go to work,
Adam and
Adam.
Tim.
And
Adam
Ben
Oh.
and Tim. Yeah.
I was supposed to ask some questions, but we've gone, this was so interesting, and I know we have more people, so I'm just impressed with how much you're doing and how much you're traveling, and your house is okay, your plants are alive.
Hey,
Joel and I
Tim, the fire was just a little one, right? The one that,
yeah, it was just a tiny one.
yeah. Okay.
But
And I think their car accident should be fixed by the time they get back, I think.
Which one?
the brand new red one.
Kidding.
Thank you for all the beautiful work that you do.
Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Geshe Michael. Thanks, Tim. Thank you, Juan, and the whole production team.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so wonderful to be able to spend this time and to see each other, to get to know how are you doing in Asia. Very, very happy birthday. Hope you keep enjoying. Hope to keep seeing you, and hopefully soon we'll see again here in Sedona area.
Don't forget Sedona, okay? Maybe you can add it to your schedule.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Mwah.
So at this point on the program, we had scheduled, to be honest, we had scheduled some videos, but I want to apologize really because something went wrong. I yet don't understand why, but we cannot show videos with audio this time. I'm gonna figure it out for the future. My apologies really, but thank you so much for the tech production who's giving us all your wisdom and support. Thank you so much. Especially I want to thank in the tech-wise to Francisco, Gina, and Maria. Thank you so much because you're really making this possible. Without you, I wouldn't be able to produce this, among many other people, but just now, especially talking about the tech table people. So thank you so much. I think we will want to finish our program for today with hearing from Geshe-la, the second part of this wonderful storytelling time about if you want to keep going with the illumination of the truth. I don't know, but it sounded great.
I'll tell you a quick one, okay, Juan, maybe 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, yeah.
So Chandrakirti and the Garjana, they mention a second dream. And this comes maybe 100 pages later, and there's a second dream. And it's a very cute story because it's a dream about there's a guy and he's sleeping in a small bedroom, and he starts to have a very clear dream about an elephant. And he starts to get really nervous in the dream because he knows that he's sleeping in a very small room. And in the dream, he's getting very nervous because the elephant is so big. And he's sleeping in a small room and he thinks the elephant is going to crush him, And of course, there's this explanation that he wakes up and he realizes, suddenly he feels relief because he realizes it was just a dream. And the elephant that was threatening him wasn't real. And then I think that ties into what Ellie was talking about with, learning to get along with people or being kind to people. And it connects with that. If the people that you don't like, the people that you meet that you don't like, they are kind of like that elephant. And then one day you will wake up and you will realize that, it wasn't real. And that was all coming from your mind, And then I'll leave you with the last thing that Tsongkhapa talks about. And he says, I didn't tell you this story about the elephant in the dream because I was talking about how the things around you are not real. That isn't why I brought it up. He said, what's your guys' opinion about the reality of the mind in the dream? Okay, so obviously the elephant is not real in the dream, but the perception of the elephant, the thinking of the person in the dream, he was also dreaming about his own thinking. So maybe the instrument of perception, the mind itself, is like the pen also, and we always focus on the pen. We always talk about how the pen is coming from our seeds. And then Tsongkhapa says, I want you to think about when you wake up from the dream, did you have a mind in the dream? And then I think most of us, we think, yeah, that was my normal mind. I went to bed, I did my good night book club reading, and then I went to bed, and then I was dreaming in the dream, and that was my real mind. I was dreaming in the dream with my real mind. And then I woke up from the dream, and my real mind changed from dreaming mind to waking mind. So in 24 hours, my real mind goes from waking mind to dreaming mind, and then back to real mind, back to waking mind. And then I think all of us think that the mind that we have in a dream, that's real. We think, oh, I had the dream, and then Jetson Kappa says, please consider the possibility that you were dreaming about your mind also. The perceiving instrument in the dream was also a dream. And I never thought of that before. And then Tsongkhapa leaves it with, and he says, that's very important in the mind-only school. Okay, that's a very, very important point in the mind-only school, because the mind-only school says the mind is real, but outside things like colors and shapes, things that we see with our eyes, those are not real. They are just part, we are just looking at seeds opening in our mind. The mind-only school says, when you look at a blue car, you are just looking at some seeds opening in your own mind. But your mind is real. And then the mind-only school loves the elephant dream story. Because they say, it's just like that, your mind in the dream is real. It's still you dreaming, right? But the elephant is not real. That's just inside your mind. And then Tsongkhapa says, if the elephant's not real, then the dreamer's not real either. So I leave you with that, Hasso, with Juan. And I love those two dream stories. And maybe we can think about it until next time.
Thank you so much, Geshe-la, for sharing this wisdom with us, and also, of course, your time, and for all the wonderful projects you are helping us do, because in a way, all the projects we talk about are inspired in your tireless, endless work that you have been doing for many, many years. So I will say we're really so very, very lucky to have you. Please stay, please keep helping us, keep teaching us. Thank you so much for your love and support.
Thank you for the show. The show is very important, and I really like it. And you're doing a really good job with it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And today, I think because of the time difference, Europe could not really join much. We also have a big audience in Europe, but they say I hope they are interested in the recording later. Yeah. We'll be sharing with them. So thank you very much, Geshe-la, and thank you very much also to every other participant that came today. Connie-la, JB-la, thank you very much. Jigme-la, Adam, Lindsay, Rosa, thank you so much. Tim, Pachi, Paulina, thank you very, very much. And also, of course, again, the tech table, Gina, Marina, Francisco, really, really thank you so much. You are not only helping this program. You're helping so many more. And I think your collaboration is wonderful. And in a way, thank you, Tim, because you organized the Worldview Productions idea. So thank you so much. I want to especially thank Chloe today for having joined us as one of the interviewers. And also, Chloe, thank you so much for having helped me to produce this event. And I know it's also not the only event you're helping to produce. So I'm excited to see where your producer career goes. Thank you very much. It's going to be fun to collaborate more in the near future. And also, thank you so much. I know sometimes it's difficult for all the translators who stick around and keep your patience with my quick speech. Thank you very much. And all of your support when I send you the posters and you very patiently find the mistakes, send it back to me, back and forth. Thank you so much. We'll see again very soon, hopefully from Mexico or something. No, actually before that, we'll see each other in Saturdays and Mondays for the Mixed Nuts Reading Club. Thank you so much, and hope you all have a wonderful day if you're in Asia, and a wonderful evening if you're in American continent. Thank you.
We love you.
Love you too.
Thank you, Juan.
Nice to see you, Jigme. I forgot to say thank you. It's a
Good to
great
see you,
time
Rosa
teaching
and
together in
Adam.
Korea.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Rosa.
Good to see you, Jiggy.
Chloe.
And happy birthday, Conila.
Thank you. Oh, it's so nice to see Pao and Patrick too. Thank you, Juan,
Yeah.
for bringing us all together. Thank you.
Thanks for taking care of the plants, Chloe.